Hello again, this is Andrea, and today I am back with another video. Today I want to take a few moments to talk to you about a great resource I have been using for the past year or so that has made my personal time of Bible study much more effective. I have a personalized Bible study binder, and that's what I want to share with you today. This is what my Bible study binder looks like. And as you can see, it's just this simple 3-ring binder. This is the thickness of the binder. And when you open up the binder, there are lots of different tabs inside of it. And each one of these tabs is labeled with a title so that I know what I'm looking for, or I know where to place something inside of my Bible study binder. I use my Bible study binder in conjunction with the main source that I'm using for Bible study. So sometimes that main source is a Bible study that I've purchased, a Bible study that I've found online, or other times the main source is just a book of the Bible that I'm reading through. As I'm going through and I'm reading and I'm learning more about the thing that I'm studying, I will use my Bible study binder as a resource, as a place to keep information as I go along and study. So what I'd like to do now is talk to you about the different sections that are found within my Bible study binder. Now, as you saw earlier, the binder is split into lots of different sections. The first section is called Scripture, and this is where I keep lists of scriptures that are especially important or encouraging to me. So right now I have a list inside of that section called 10 Encouraging Verses for Homeschooling Moms. This is also the place of the binder where I'll write down scriptures that I want to memorize or scriptures that I want to meditate on or think about or study a little bit more deeply. The next section of the binder is called Timeline. And this section of the binder has 25 pages of historical time periods written on it. And as I bump into biblical events, there's a place on the timeline for me to write them down. But I really like it because the timeline also allows me to see what other events were going on in the world at the same time as the events of Scripture. So that's something that I refer to quite often inside of my binder. Another section of the binder is called Reading Plans, and this is where I keep lists of the Bible reading plans that I'll use each year. Each year, my goal is to read through the Bible one time, and each year I choose a different reading plan to help me do that. Sometimes the plan is a chronological plan. Sometimes the plan is the type of plan where you read a verse from the Old Testament and the New Testament each day, or sometimes the Bible plan is just one that starts at Genesis and goes all the way through to the book of Revelation. Another section of my binder is labeled Prayer. And this is where I keep track of all my prayer requests. I'll write them down, and then as prayers are answered, I'll write down the date, and then I'll also make note of how those prayer requests have been answered. And that is always a great thing to go back and look at. Another section of the binder is called Maps. And this is where I keep a record of different types of maps that show travels throughout the Bible. So that'll be the place where I'll store away the map that shows Paul's 3 different missionary journeys. Or that will be the place where I keep the map that shows the path that the Israelites took as they wandered through the wilderness. Another section of the binder is called Charts. And this section of the binder is pretty big because there are lots of different charts that I have found to help organize information much more efficiently. So there'll be charts that will list the lineage of Jesus, or there will be a chart that shows the many names of God, or I'll have a chart that shows the list of the kings of Israel. Those type of things get filed away in the chart section for easy reference in the future. Character study is quickly becoming a well-used section of my Bible study binder as well. I love this section because it is where I can take time to explore the life of a biblical figure in much more depth than I would by just reading the person's story within Scripture. So let's say I'm studying Queen Esther. The character study page would give me space to write down the members of her family. I would write down where she lived. I would write down adjectives that describe the type of person that she is. And then I would also write down her story. And as I do that, I'm thinking about how the life of Queen Esther was used by God. And then I'm also writing down how God was at work in the life of Queen Esther. And then finally on the character study page, I'm writing down any applications that that person's life would have to me. I keep track of those, and then I can go back and reread them and look at them. And even when I'm teaching my children about them, it's nice to have that reference to be able to go back to. I also have a section in the binder called activities, and this is where I just keep any interesting activities that I do or might want to do during the course of my study. For example, last year, one of the deacons at our church was doing a study on the book of Psalms, and he gave us directions and instructions on how to write our own personal psalm, which I just thought was, a pretty amazing thing. And after I did it, I was really impressed at how nicely my psalm turned out. So I decided that I would want to do it again, so I just filed that away in the activities section. Books of the Bible is also a big section of my personalized Bible study binder. Inside of that section, I keep 66 sheets that just give a simple overview of each book of the Bible. And I found these really great overviews over at Charles Swindoll's website. So I just printed out each one, hole punched it, and stuck it into that section of the binder. So now when I go to start a new book of the Bible and I kind of want to get some background on that book, I can just go to that section and look up the book of the Bible and read a little bit more about it. Creating this personalized Bible study binder has been a wonderful thing for me. It has helped give my Bible study time more focus. It's helped me learn some new things, and it's helped me compile a list of resources that I can visit again and again and again. If you'd like to create your own Bible study binder, and you want to include some of the things I mentioned, like the timeline or Charles Swindoll's Bible book overviews, I will leave links to those things in the description box below this video. If you have any suggestions for a Bible study binder, or you use one now and there's something beneficial that you've been able to include in yours, please feel free to let me know. I've got space left inside of my binder, so I would love to be able to add something else more useful. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope you've been encouraged by it, and I pray that the rest of your day will be happy and blessed. Thanks so much for watching.